Today. Right, what am I going to do my vlog about today? Well, my vlog today is going to be about property. But not just any property. This is property for sale in the Davao region from 50 million to 700 million pesos. Yeah, from 50 million, which is a lot of money, to 700 million. So it will look like something like that. This is in Bilisario. This property is about 50 million. They've just finished it. It's just been built. It's raised, and the reason it's raised, so no water will go into it or egress into it. It's got the steps to get in, it's got the drive in, it's got the drive out. Very, very nice. I think it's on a 1,000 square metre plot, because it goes all the way down where that car is now. So it's from there, that grey wall, all the way up to here. This is what your neighbours look like when you build a massive house. I started this vlog this morning around about 8:30. It's about property today, but I got distracted a little bit because I needed to go to see the doctor about my eye, and also picked up some results regarding Priem, his test results, and it's been a little bit emotional this afternoon, so that's why it's dark. It's about 7:30 in the evening, so I'm going to finish the vlog off today. So if you're looking to come to Davao and you're looking to buy property, I've done the low end, I've done condominiums, but today we're looking at 50 million peso and up. So 50 million is around $1 million, or 700,000 pounds. And I'm going to attach some pictures of some properties that are at 50 million, 100 million, 220 million and 700 million peso. Now, there are areas in Davao that command high prices, like most cities in the world, and there are certain things and certain rules you need to look for when looking to buy those properties. Now, there is a high-end subdivision called Davao, which is downtown. It's close to all the amenities, and house prices in there range from around 50 million, 60 million, 70 million up. It's close to hospitals, close to amenities, but it's also close to pollution, traffic, congestion and all the other things. So you buy that experience. Now, there is another subdivision which is called Insula Village, which is down near Sasa and Pampanga. And there's two parts to Insula Village. There's the part that is backing on to the Waterfront Hotel, and then across the main road on the other side from Insula 1 is Insula 2, and there are houses in there. So one of the houses I'm showing you today with the pictures is in that subdivision, and they have the guards, they have the right area, they are quiet, they're a little bit less restrictive, they're a little bit less congested. They are very, very nice subdivisions to be part of. If you go up to Diversion Road, which is the road that's from Davao Airport out towards Digos, and it's a diversion road, you've got the Woodridge subdivision, and you've got La Terraza. They are two subdivisions. One's at the bottom of the hill and one is right at the top of the hill as you go up over the top of the mountain range, and they are quite difficult to find, but they've got good access on the roads, but they're not close to hospitals or the amenities. You need to travel at least 20 to 30 minutes from there into the city to see what's actually happening. And there's a couple I've got pictures of that are one of each in those subdivisions. And then further afield, going out towards Eden, which is about 2 hours outside Davao City itself, but still part of Davao, the region, because it's the largest land city in the world with through area and space. You got Eden Resort, and there's a property out in that part of the world that's at 220 million peso. A lot of money, but it's a massive property. Okay, the other thing you need to look for when you're looking at buying these properties, and it's an insight, is that at the bottom, when you're looking at the adverts or you're talking to the person, you need to pay tax on land here, And a lot of the people that own these huge properties want to mitigate some of that tax, so they'll come up with this lovely little thing at the bottom, and they'll turn around and say seller is willing to pay capital gains. That's just a red herring. Don't get drawn into that one, because the capital gains they have to pay to the tax man is on the value of the property they're selling, because it's their property and it's their capital gains. And they write this lovely little thing to and say the seller has to pay the capital gains. Don't believe that. Updated tax on these properties. Don't get drawn into, you like the property but you will pay the tax, because the tax on 50 million up is a huge amount of money, and I mean a huge amount of money, if there is not an updated tax declaration on the property. And the property you're looking at should have an updated tax declaration. Yeah, it also should have updated land registration completed. It should also turn around and be looked after and maintained. Okay, and these are the things you need to look at. So get a solicitor involved, get an attorney involved. Don't do it yourself, because the person that's selling it will run rings around you because of the laws in this country. If you're a foreigner, don't take a golden handshake and turn around and say, oh, we'll look after it, because capital gains, if it's left to you, you will pay a fortune. If you're left to pay the updated tax, you will pay a fortune. You need to understand that it's a lot of money. Now, the other thing you need to look at is it a residential property or is it an residential agricultural property? Because in the Philippines, residential tax is different to agricultural. Agricultural is above 10%. It's above 10%. Residential is down at around 8% of the value of the property. So if it's a property that is a farm, or it's a resort, or it's an agricultural property, you will pay tax on that land above 10%. So if somebody says to you, you need to pay the tax, you need to add 10% onto the value. And if you put 10% on 220 million peso, you can see where I'm coming from. You need to find another 22 million to pay tax, attorneys, capital gains. It's not for the light-hearted. A lot of properties that are in the higher echelon of procurement and buying here are 50 million and above. What I find is a lot of people don't look after those properties. They're not at their best. Somebody's lived in them and used in them, but they have not updated the drainage, they've not updated the electrics, they've not given it a coat of paint, they've not turned around and made it a home. It's been used as an investment, or they filled it up with lots of old style knickknacks that are from the 80s or the 70s or the 60s. have a look at the pictures that I'm going to post. Some of these properties, they've not maintained the swimming pools because they can't maintain the swimming pool because it costs too much, and as their wealth has diminished, they need to sell on these properties, but they don't sell these properties on at what I would say a Western style living would actually give you, which is a pristine swimming pool. There's a pristine garden area, they're landscape garden areas. These properties, if they're brand new, will be in that bracket. But what I'm going to post today, a lot of these have not been maintained, they've not been looked after. A lot of them are very dark and use a lot of dark wood, whereas today's environment, it's all about eco-friendly, it's all about having recyclable, it's all about open and airy and bright, and so have a look at it. But as I said, it's taken me a while to get a collection of the pictures from realtors and real estaters and estate agents of these properties. So have a look. I can't afford it. I can't afford the running cost of it. I can't afford the tax on it. I can't afford the asset improvement. I can't afford the upkeep and the maintenance of this. So it becomes quite difficult to turn around and live on these high-end subdivisions unless you've got good cash flow coming in and you've bought yourself a very, very new, within the last 5 to 6 year property that's been looked after, that's been well maintained, because if you buy it and it's on the bottom end and it's what the Americans call flipping or a doer-upper, it's just started to rain, you've got to spend more money on it. And the one that you're going to see today on Eden, that one I've seen now for the last 3.5 years and nobody's bought it. So when properties sit around and they come down in value, it's because nobody actually wants to take on the huge amount of work and the project that's actually going to turn around and will be. You want to be buying a home you can move into and you can live into. You don't want to be buying a home that's going to take you 2 to 3 years to bring it up to what you want, unless you've got a load of money. So today it's about 50 million peso and above. What can you get in the Davao area? Like, share, subscribe. Take care from a rainy Ulan Davao City.